Characters who made a generation weep, and those who made us laugh. And some more who made us weep. Passions, passions, and gunfire. Animal diseases, editing wizardry, and sweaty people. Stand by for the Great Breaking Ball Navel Gazing Special, the top 10 items which shook the world or made it laugh. Come back, lads, it's just starting.
That has to do with hurling, the whole circle. I mean, from training, from the dressing room before the match, getting nervous, after the match, going out, and then just absolutely going up and grabbing a ball and clearing it down the field. I mean, that's what I miss. I can't do that anymore. Springing off the ground, catching a ball, you know, hooking, blocking, all the little things, flicking, whatever, scoring goals, scoring points, taking frees, sidelines, whatever, everything that has to do with hurling. It's a spectacular game. That's why I'm doing drama and music, because that little bit of nervousness that you get before you go out and sing or whatever, that has a lot to do with hurling, and it kind of reminds me of it, and it's brilliant.
Every week, there's been some wise guy calling the shots. So with something big going down this weekend, it seemed a good idea to bring in a bunch of them and find out what was going on. And to find out how wrong 5 experts could be.
There's no real mystery about this. I think only Kilkenny have the ability to pull off this job.
Cause I can do it in the mix. Cause I can do it in the mix. In the mix. In the mix.
This is DJ Carey, your DJ tonight, counting down my favourite goals. And the top of my chart, my first, also my first, for very special reasons.
And it's for DJ Carey, racing through. Can he seal it for them? Still DJ Carey kicking. Oh, he's got it all!
The goal is great in any game. Not so much from a personal point of view of getting it. Obviously, it's brilliant if you as an individual get it. But there's an awful lot of hurling goes in to score 3 points.
More about ourselves later. Next, though, a classic line. Jimmy, Bobby,
and here it comes to Anthony O'Toole, John McCarthy,
and John. Keaveney, Doyle, McCarthy, the 3 degrees of the 70s Dublin full forward line.
I started off as a wing half forward, but then as things progressed, I think they utilised the fact that I had pace and mobility, and I was able to a good tank to keep going.
Jimmy Keaveney.
I think Kevin was very shrewd in bringing back a player like Jimmy. It was a final cog in it. Like, I'd say Kevin knew exactly what he wanted within the team structure.
If it was anybody else, I don't think I would have come back, but knowing Kevin so well, how persuasive he is, like I played with Kevin and I knew him all my life. I knew if he wants me back, he would have got me back one way or the other, so I decided, sure, I'll have a go at it anyway, see how it works out.
I mean, I knew Jimmy from the club scene. I always knew he was a great footballer, like, and then his free taking was immaculate, so we were all delighted to see him, but we just thought, you'd question his condition, how could we get him fit, like.
The training we were used to was 2 or 3 laps to the field, but now we had Kevin Heffernan who would start training for something like 2 hours, and at no stage would you be standing, you were moving all the time.
The regime was tough, yeah, it was great, and we had some super fit guys on the team who pushed other people. We pushed each other, we all wanted to play with Dublin. It was very important that we'd win with Dublin, and Dublin meant a lot to us.
It's much easier to go in and put your head in where you know you're going to get done, and know that if you go down where the free taker's going to go over the bar, it doesn't matter what angle the free was, you always felt that Jimmy would get it.
John McCarthy.
half a chance that Macca was in there getting a goal. He got pulled down. He got pulled down for the penalty we played Kerry in the 76 All-Ireland final. And we were lucky enough to get a goal for it. But that's the sort of player John was.
Bobby Doyle, David Hickey. Still David Hickey on the 14-yard line across the front of the goal. It's a goal!
John scored a lot of goals for Dublin. Jimmy, with his free taking and his ability to score. Jimmy has superb pace over 10 yards, despite his size and what people thinking that he wasn't able to move. But Jimmy's pace over 10, 15 yards was incredible. And that was his really strong point.
I never saw anybody in my life as fit as Bobby Doyle. Like, the work he'd done, the work rate was just colossal. Like, he covered every blade of grass in Croke Park. It made my job very easy. Like, I played in the edge of the square, I moved around the edge of the square. I'd probably get light in the head of him if they was as far as 50 yards. But the lads, 2 lads beside me, done all the running. And we got on great together. We worked very hard together, and we ended up, we're all very good friends.
Jimmy had no nerves. He was unreal. He's the only fellow I ever seen that before he go out in a match, he'd be getting the cheeks of his arse massaged. He'd be lying there. He couldn't get him up hardly off the thing to get him out, and there'd be 70,000 out, you know, waiting.
Winning 74 was fantastic for us, but then we got beaten by a very young Kerry team in 75, and to come back and win in 76 and again in 77, they were probably the highlights looking back on it.
The ball is in, the game is on.
The Armagh All-Ireland final, I think the full forward scored most of the scores that day, and we got a run in Armagh early on, and Jimmy got a fantastic goal. Well, we thought it was a fantastic goal. We weren't sure he was going for a point, but he always claimed he was going for a goal. But so Bobby had a very good game. But I thought the three of us played well that day. The 78 All-Ireland to me was a real killer. Like, I think we all believed that we had to win that game for so long.
At one stage, I think we were 5 or 6 points up after 15 or 20 minutes, and we were attacking all the time. And our defence moved way up the field looking for a bit of the action at the far end. I think it was Sean Egan got the first goal totally against the run of play. Then they got another score, and then the famous Mikey's chip goal against Paddy Cullen. But we had the Kerry defence on the rack that day, and it was the first time in all the years playing against Kerry they were arguing and giving out to one another. And I thought we had them, but if we had held our discipline, I'm convinced we would have won that game.
I think at the end of 78, 79, it was sort of crumbling at that stage. There was a lot of mileage up in the legs, a lot of mileage up in the bodies, and I think the secret, if you could give any advice to any lads coming up in a group like that again, would be to get out at the right time.
You have to see a show going into the goal, do you? That ball's pretty strong.
Back to Croke Park this Sunday.
Field, opportunity to express themselves and perhaps get into another scoring opportunity. Brendan Ger O'Sullivan waiting for Fionn Murray to make the darting run inside. He's done it! He scored! 16 minutes into the second half. Murray penetrating and cracking a beauty.
Just 5 more of those would have done it.
The question was asked before this game, who had the greater hunger? Brosnan feeding it inside here towards...
Do Kerry ever score a goal if it isn't beautiful?
Oh, he's crashed it in! And it's Sean O'Sullivan who gets it. His first goal ever in championship football, and it comes here in Croke Park.
Michael Donlan doesn't.
Great skills being illustrated here, even in these early minutes. Michael Donlan coming through like an express train. Donlan still, he's stuck it away. 6 minutes gone. Nobody stopped him. A brilliant goal from a Galway perspective.
Dublin back in the big time.
Played who had been pretty anonymous during the match. I remember seeing Spurfer outside and seeing Henry Downey, and I said to myself, definitely don't give the ball to Spurfer because he has worse feet than I do. So I decided to give the ball to Henry because he's a safe pair of hands. Simple first pass out to Henry. Henry took it from there.
Henry took the ball, as usual, very precise, absolutely definite with a hand pass. He took a look around and very steely gave it perfectly to the great Dermot McNichol.
And my automatic reaction was, do I take the man on or do I shoot? So I decided to try and sidestep the player who was in front of me. As I sidestepped the player who was in front of me, I heard a shout from behind.
Dermot got the ball and I thought, Jesus Christ, not Dermot at this stage of the match. And I thought, Jesus, I'm nearly in the Hogan stand here and I could see the faces. And I picked up the ball and sold once on my right and thought, no left footers, Damien Barton's the way off. And at that stage, 2 minutes left, and I thought a draw is not a bad result. I had a look at the posts and said, I'll kick this as far as I can into the canal end, and I just zipped it with a left foot.
And maybe for the last 5 years, I only think about it every second day. But I do, and I will keep thinking about it until I die. I know that All-Ireland was for the taking. Galway didn't happen for them that day, but I suppose we felt, and I personally felt, we had a great opportunity.
And Kilkenny are the All-Ireland champions.
I get very emotional about it, and it's my nature, and I suppose I cannot change. And I would have given my 2 right hands to win that All-Ireland for Galway and for myself and for my family and all my friends.
Brian Lohan comes out like a colossus.
Next week, the Red Helmet, a tribute. And 9/11 through football.